we all learn a lot when we give an interview. And interview is just not to get hired, but also an interview, even if we get rejected or we get selected, it is a complete experience, and we get to know that what are the things we need to work upon, what are the things we need to touch upon, and a lot of things. So I have given Google interview once for the step interview in my second year, and Swasti have given her Google interview in third year for SWE intern. So today we are going to talk about how to not get rejected in Google. So what are our learnings with those internship interview experiences with Google? What are the things we want to change if we can? So let's discuss that. As this is an internship period, I think this is a perfect time to talk about these things and what are the things we need to learn from our experiences.
Yeah, so I think the first point that comes to my mind is confidence. Like when I gave my Google interview, for me, it was my very first technical interview. I was like scared to death. I was very nervous. I was very anxious. I could not sleep for nights. And I did practice a lot, and I had a background in competitive programming as well. Like I took part in ACM ICPC, if you have heard of
Yeah.
it. And like I had all the background and I had all the knowledge, but then what I lacked was that confidence, right? So I think the best way to gain confidence is by practicing as many mock interviews as you can. And the second point that I missed out on was time management. I was very slow, and I think it was sort of because I was nervous. I could not, like, I kept reviewing my code again and again over 45 minutes of a call, and in which you have to be like really quick and you have to move on to the next question. I
Yeah.
think in most of the interviews, I think even for step interview, I'm not sure, like, let's talk about your interview as well after this. But in my interview, it was more like I had to complete, let's say, two parts of the question. Like, that's what I've heard. But I could barely complete the second part because I was so slow and nervous at the same time. And even in my second interview, there were three parts to one question, and I couldn't complete the third part. The questions, in my opinion, were if people who practice lead code, they would understand in the medium difficulty level, which is like in general okay to solve if you have
Yeah.
practiced enough, which I had. But like I said, confidence was the one thing that I was lacking. So yeah, that's my story. What is yours?
So the thing with my interview was I had confidence. I was really happy and excited about it. So I knew like nearly 1 month before the interview that I had the interview. So I was like a whole month I was so cheerful and doing everything the best I can. And as you know, for the step interview, there are going to be two interviews like back to back. So first was 45 minutes, then you have a 30-minute break, then a 45-minute interview. So I didn't have lack of confidence, I would say, because first went very well. He was really friendly also. So I was very talkative at that time, and I was solving the questions. I solved two, and I solved two, and I solved them really fastly. So it was like we were over in 35 minutes with both the questions. And after that, he asked me to ask him a question, and on that I asked him about some internship and like role stuff, and we had a really healthy like discussion over that. So the discussion stretched to 15 minutes, which is really like
Oh my god.
a great thing, but
Yeah.
then for the second interview, first thing was the interviewer was, if I could say that, he was like a little strict, I would say. So even he will never smile back, he will not say anything. I was really intimidated by that interviewer, and so like that's the reason I got really nervous in the second one.
Oh,
And then the first question was revolving around linked list, so I did that and it was fine. And then second was a follow-up which included w linked list and some, it was some question around pointers and stuff. And yeah, I solved it. And then he gave me a test case, and I realized that I had made a mistake. But I wasn't able to like debug my code because I don't know. And because I was so intimidated by that interviewer, I like stopped talking much, think out loud
yeah.
stuff. I stopped talking,
Mhm.
and here it went in vain, so it went really bad. Like after some time, he was like, okay, I think the time is over. When we literally had 7 minutes left from the schedule, he was like, okay, I think the time is over. If you have any question, you can ask me. I asked him the same question I asked the other guy, just to see maybe he also will like converse that much with me. But he was like, oh, he just gave me two-line answer, and he was like, okay, I will send the feedback. I will send the feedback
Okay.
to the recruiter. And yeah, so after that, I never got the feedback actually, but it is fine. I knew that I am
I
going to get rejected in this. But yeah, I learned that don't get intimidated by the interviewer. He can be like,
yeah.
he needs not to be like this much like happy about you giving the interview. Maybe he's taking 20 interviews in a day, you know?
Yeah,
So
that
it
is
is, yeah.
actually right. Like your interview, my interview was over a call. Like,
Mhm.
so again, since you were saying this, I realized that, oh, even I had this problem, something similar to this. So my interview was with Google North America
Mhm.
part, okay? And so my first interviewer was, I guess, a Chinese. I
Uh,
could not understand the accent, even though he was from, like, he was in North America, but then I still did not like. I had to make him repeat the questions, even though he actually went very slowly over the questions, so it was not that big of a problem. My second interview, and none of this was over a video call, right? It was over a call, international call, and all I had open was a Google Doc, not even a Google Doc, that coding,
Yeah.
like I don't know, interface open. And the second interviewer was a North American for sure. His accent was, I had to make him repeat the questions 3 times because I could not understand what he was saying. And I think that took up some time as well, like for me to understand what he's saying, which is absolutely fine. I think it would have been easier in a, what do you call it, like offline setting. If it were in some Google Bangalore office
yeah.
or Hyderabad office, it would have been really easy, at least that part. But it's okay, everything is an experience. And yeah, I got to learn. Like, it's not like we can do anything about it. Some things are just beyond your control, and you should accept your fate. So yeah, that is one more thing to keep in mind, because it's not like you can go and learn the accent, or maybe you can just watch a lot of shows so that the accent comes more naturally to you. But
Yeah.
yeah, that is one more thing.
So this thing I have noticed that for SWE internships, the first interview is always with some foreigner and not an Indian, and after that, other rounds are with Indians.
I think for SWE interns, especially North Americans, like I think the main office, Mountain View office, people take the interviews.
Okay.
And I've actually heard that they're relatively easy as well. Like, especially for interns, not for full-time employees. But yeah, like that doesn't help. You have to work harder.
Yeah,
Just because
definitely.
the questions are easier, you can't help it.
Also, other thing I would like to say is, if you are stuck, take help from the interviewer, or even if you are stuck and you can't think of anything, so don't just sit blank. You can actually say that I'm not able to like think of anything. Maybe we can just talk about the brute force for now, and we can go on. And if he knows that you are not able to think about anything, he's going to give you hints. But sometimes it happens with me a lot that if I'm not able to get anything in mind right now, I will sit still. I will not say a word because I'm in my mind. I'm trying to process. But the thing is, the interviewer will think that he will see that I'm not speaking anything and I'm not solving anything. So he will think that she have lost it. She have lost the hopes of solving this question. So it is really bad. So yeah, even in my like second interview, as I said, he gave me the feedback that I should talk more, and yeah, I understand that part completely.
Yeah, I think one more thing is that generally, like, okay, over the last placement season, I've given about 14 interviews. So by now, it's not a problem anymore. Like, I don't have that confidence issue. But then, especially when you're stuck over a question in your head, you're like, oh my God, I'm not able to solve this question. What will happen next? I'll get rejected. All those thoughts. You have to you just have to stop thinking about it. All you have to do is, okay, so again, this is, might be changing topics, but I had this Facebook interview, which actually went very well. Like, there were 2 interviews, and it was regarding a data scientist position. Both of them went really well, and I still did not get through. And I have no feedback regarding why I got rejected. Sometimes it's just the profile which doesn't match or something like that. And at the end of the day, you don't know. But what happened over there was, for the second part, I was stuck on a question which is on probability and statistics. First, I had to like write the mathematical equation part of it, and then next code it or something, like a very small snippet. And I was actually doing it wrong. And then I knew in my head that, okay, I don't know the correct answer, and what I'm doing is I'm currently messing up the interview. I kept thinking that, but then I tried to block that thought out. But and there was something that my interviewer said that, are you sure this is right? And that's when I realized, okay, I
This
know
is
that
wrong.
this is not right. Yeah. And then, but then since I tried to block those thoughts out, I could actually think over a new solution, and I wrote that, and it was correct. And I knew it because my interviewer went on to the next question, and he was also satisfied with that particular answer. So all we need is practice of, in fact, blocking those thoughts out. I think
Yeah.
that eventually happens after you give a lot of
A lot
interviews,
of
face a lot of rejections. It's a part of the process.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
that's-
And this thing of thoughts, like, I would like to share a story. So my first interview was for Google, I guess. Yeah, it was for Google.
Mhm.
So when it's your first interview, you actually don't have any experience and you don't know what to do. So in my Google interview, when I was stuck on the linked list part, it actually happened with me that I was not thinking about the linked list and the pointer stuff. I was thinking that, oh, I ruined this interview. I'm not going to get the offer. I have like I messed up. I should have practiced more and stuff, and which was really bad. After that, after some like 2 months or something, I gave another interview, which was for another company for an internship, and they had a really hard DP problem, which was from lead code. But I didn't knew. If I knew at that time that it is a DP problem, I would have left it there. I would have never tried it even. Okay, but I didn't knew. So he told me about the problem, and I was like very chill. I was like, ये internship तो मिल गई तो भी ठीक है, नहीं मिली तो भी ठीक है, मुझे चाहिए ही नहीं. ठीक है. So I tried to like think about the solution. We were both discussing. it was feeling like I'm solving it with one of my friends, because interviewer was also good, and he was trying ki, okay हाँ सही करिए सही करिए सही करिए ऐसे. So I actually did it. I did solved it, and then I, like, after the interview I was googling it. Okay, what was the question actually? And I was like, what the fuck? It's lead course DP hard question. I was like, कुछ भी ये कर दिया तूने. उसके बाद मेरा
Oh my
DP का
God.
डर खत्म हो गया. Like I was like, okay, DP तो कुछ भी नहीं है, तेरे भाई हाथ लगे रहे. बस तुझे ये सोचना है कि तू एक इंटरव्यू में है. And this is what I do.
Exactly.
जब भी मैं डीपी का क्वेश्चन कर रही थी, मैं यही सोच रही थी, खुशबू ये तेरा इंटरव्यू चल रहा है, कर दे बस. So उससे मुझे ये
That is awesome.
yeah, that is awesome. So yeah, this was a great experience, I guess. And I have my Google interview, like it is scheduled in 9 days exactly.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm scared, obviously, but I'm more confident this time, like I can do anything. I hope you all liked it, because it was a really great conversation. We were talking, bro, about our experiences with Google and rejections in general. While we were reiterating our experiences, we got to know a lot about what we actually did wrong, because I never like actually analyzed the situation before this talk. But while I was thinking about it, then I actually know, okay, these were the points I was missing at that time. So that was a great thing. And I hope if you have any interview soon, Google interview or not Google, doesn't matter, any interview for internship or your first interview, you can say you are going to learn a lot from our experiences. And if you have anything in mind, you can always comment down below, and we are going to see you super soon. Thank you, Saraswati. Bye.